It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by Agile Dad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. Today, I wanted to talk about something a little more technical. I wanted to talk about the importance of a product vision, but I wanted to talk about it from the perspective of an engineer. So, I guess in order for us to really have this conversation, the first thing we need to do is declare what a product vision means. So the product vision, it answers questions about what are we building, why are we building it, and where is it headed in the future. There was a recent article that was published by a guy named John McDonald that was sent my way. It was published in late June, and he goes on to say it's the magnetic north for your team and provides both a clearly defined direction for the team to build towards, as well as a more ephemeral guide to that whispers in the ears of every team member when they're faced with a fork in the road and wonder which direction they should go. It provides the why and the where. I like that answer. I thought that was a really, really good answer. So he went on to talk about why product vision matters, and then he did a small section on how to communicate the product vision. So I want to get these to you because I think we're mostly online. So let me give you some examples here of what he goes over. So the first one says, why does the product vision matter to engineers? And it says your engineers will feel significantly more connected to the mission of the company or product. I mean, that alone could be an entire topic for a podcast, for a blog post, etc. But a lot of times, if an engineer knows exactly why they're building something and what the purpose is, they do feel that inherent connection to it, which is powerful, which is exactly where they need to be. The second is it sparks the big ideas. Once your engineering team feels it's empowered, you'll start to see incredible things happen. They'll start to do more stuff autonomously. They'll feel more confident. They'll feel like they're doing a pure representation of the end user in the business. And they'll start getting into the ideation process where they're really sparking those big ideas and building them out. And then, of course, the third one is this guides to the small decisions. So this might be the most important part. When you're communicating your product vision, it's kind of like that north, right? The North Star. It's the invisible compass that carries the weight of the team towards the direction they need to go. The truth is, along the way, you're going to face 1,000 little decisions every single day that, when you pile up, make a major difference down the line. But if those decisions are all being made in a vacuum, the risk that you take is so high. It's important for us to be able to identify those decisions and to be able to have discussions when needed and to be able to make sure that we're well informed and communicated. That way, our product vision makes sense. Okay. But in order to do that, we need to be the type of product manager or product leader that's able to communicate the vision to the team. So he gives us a list of 5 tips to better communicate the product vision. First, document your product vision. Go figure. I always call it the agile press release. I talk about having the elevator pitch in there from Jeffrey Moore, Crossing the Chasm. There's just, you have to write it out. You have to document it. It doesn't take long if you know what you're doing, and I teach it in every one of my product owner classes. It doesn't need to be long-winded. It doesn't need to be an entire charter, but it should definitely be, something that is written down that people can read and understand. Second, use pictures. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So sometimes we can really just, it's elementary, right? But if you are someone who really is a visual learner, if you have a perfect wall of text, it's not going to be as impactful. Uh, Use pictures. And if they're less precise than a wall of text, it doesn't matter. You can show prototypes of future states, prospective roadmaps, release plans, competitors' tech, pictures of personas. Anytime you can use an image, it's going to be to your benefit. A scientific fact is that the brain processes images 60,000 times faster than words. So if you're doing images, you're actually doing yourself a favor, the organization a favor, and the team a favor. Third, he talks about tag your tickets and stories. This is an important one. Many of the vision documents result in a variety of specific themes, goals, initiatives, and strategies. But in order to reinforce these things, tag the stories with links to references from the vision topic in Jira or whatever tool you're using, right? If you tag it, something that says best mobile shopping experience or instant response time. It's going to give you exactly where this ties back to what we're trying to do, which I think is important because a lot of times the people building the product don't know the why behind the what. Number four is talk about it often. I know this sounds so mundane again, but every single day I talk about the strategy. I talk about the vision. I read the vision statement. I say it out loud. And I think that when you do that, it reinforces the vision, but it also defends the vision. If people say, tell me one more time, how does that relate? I think that it's going to be an important opportunity for us to really look at it, address it, and see it, which leads to number five, update the vision as needed. It should be naturally flowing. You don't need to always just radically change it, but it is a good idea to ratify it regularly and to look at it and to make sure that it hasn't had a need to be updated or that there's more to it that we need to address. Because I think if you tinker with it a little bit and refine it, you're going to find that you're going to have a more powerful vision and that people are going to be really, really enthusiastic about their understanding of what we're trying to do. So I think the most incredible piece of advice that I can give, if I could add anything to this, is don't wait to start. Start now. Don't overthink it. Just get in there and do it. I think that we need to stop starting and start finishing. And this is something that if we don't start it, we'll never get it done. So it's just one of those simple things. It's so easy for us to come up with a vision for a product or for a service. It's easy for us to understand where we're going and what we need to do. But I think it's just critically important for us to really take this initiative into the forefront and make sure that our teams understand what we're trying to do and that our stakeholders understand that we actually care. So that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And thank you again to John McDonald for writing an excellent article. Love it. I'll drop a link inside of the comments. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.